Hey guys, I wanted to make a performance comparison here between the Apple iPhone 5S and the Google Nexus 5. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone knows which one's which. This is the Google Nexus 5. If you don't, this is the Apple iPhone 5S. And yeah, what we're going to be doing in this video is checking out general performance. So that's going to include stuff like boot up time, app opening speed, scrolling in apps, opening the camera and stuff like that. And we'll also check out some benchmarks right at the end of the video as well. So in terms of the hardware, the Apple iPhone 5S has the A7 chip. That's a dual core processor clocked at 1.3 gigahertz per core. The Google Nexus 5 has a Snapdragon 800, which is a quad-core chipset clocked at 2.3 gigahertz per core. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this off with a boot up test. Thought I'd just do a quick test to see which one turned off quickest as well. So we'll just do this here. No, that was a little bit biased to the Nexus 5, which is now off. Okay, it wasn't that biased, so the iPhone 5S definitely takes quite a bit longer. You can see that there. Come on, turn off. There we go, and it's off. So let's do this boot up test. I'll try and get these as accurately as I can, try and hit these buttons at the same time. Okay, so it looked like the iPhone was a little bit in front there. They got slightly different times to boot. Let's see what happens. We got the boot animation on the Nexus 5. It's getting tense. Oh. And we're done over here. Ready to go. 5S is still going. And there it is. So not much behind. I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 seconds behind, and it's ready as well. So not too much between them there, but the Nexus 5 wins that one. So both of these devices are running the very latest in their software versions. Google Nexus 5 is running Android 4.4 KitKat. It's the only device to officially have that available right now. The iPhone 5S has iOS 7.0.3, so they're both up to scratch here. I mentioned in the introduction I was going to test UI performance or general UI performance, but there really isn't much to show you. Both of these devices have epic processors that just aren't going to slow down. Obviously the iPhone never had this problem because there really isn't much going on. It's just rows of apps. But the Nexus 5, yeah, it's buttery smooth. You can see there is no lags in any transitions. It's not going to slow down even if you have widgets or a live wallpaper. It really does just fly. So that's really all I want to mention here because there's not that much to show you. We'll just go ahead and skip to some app opening speeds. Okay, so here we go. You can see we've got nothing in either device's memory, so this is a fair test. And I'm going to be doing the app opening speed test first, and then after all of the app opening, we'll check out the scrolling in the apps as well. So yeah, I'll try and hit these as accurately as possible, but obviously take into account there may be some human error. We'll start off here with Twitter. Here we go. Nexus 5 is done. 5S just behind, very, very close between them. It looked like the 5S was going to win there because the blue bar was first, but the Nexus 5 actually loaded up the feed first, so I could actually read the content. But it was very close. The 5S was probably half a second behind. Nonetheless, the Nexus 5 does just win out the round. Next up, we got Facebook. Again, the Nexus 5 just loaded up the feed a little bit before the 5S, and once again it looked like it was going to be first because it loaded up this kind of blue bar up here, but it took a little bit longer to actually load the feed, so again I've got to give that to the Nexus 5. 5S won that one definitely. This picture definitely appeared on the 5S first, so it was very close again between them. It's probably, the Nexus 5 was probably half a second, if that, behind the 5S, but that one goes to the 5S, so it's, what is it, about 2-1 now to the Nexus 5. Nexus 5's done. A little bit more transition stuff going on in the 5S, but the Nexus 5 was first to actually give me my content of my Dropbox, so that's 3-1 to the Nexus 5. Nexus 5's done. Quite comfortably done before the 5S here. Both are on the same Wi-Fi, by the way. And yeah, you can see that the Nexus 5 definitely won that round. It was first in pretty much every aspect. So yeah, what was that 4-1 to the Nexus 5? It's definitely running away with this performance test. It's tight. 5S wins, followed by the Nexus 5. So the Nexus 5 and Android in general still has that slow app opening with YouTube. I don't know why, it's just YouTube. But there you go, the 5S did win that round. Nexus 5 is done, pinpointed my location, and we are good to go. That was pretty much identical there. That I couldn't tell the difference. You'd have to tell me if there was any difference there, but that one I'm going to call a tie. Lastly, we'll test out the camera opening speed. So I'm just going to hold them up here so you can actually see when the camera is activated. Again, we'll try and hit these at the same time. 5S just before the Nexus 5, but it definitely doesn't have slow opening speed. I know some people said the Nexus 5 had slow camera opening. That's pure wrong. You could see it there. It was pretty close to the 5S, but the 5S did just about win. So there you have it, guys. You can see that the Google Nexus 5 did win out there. I think the final score was 5-3 in terms of app opening, and of course the Nexus 5 won the boot up test as well, so that's actually 6-3 in total. So yeah, both of these devices are very fast, and there really isn't that much between them. It's not like you're waiting an extra minute for something to load, but the Nexus 5 is a hair faster than the 5S. Okay, so now we'll move on to some app scrolling. So we'll go into Facebook here, because this is one everyone is normally quite interested in, and here we go with the scrolling. So far it seems smooth on both. We'll just speed it up a little bit. It seems easier to scroll faster on the Nexus device. You can see that there. You can just kind of flick it a little bit, not even that hard, and it scrolls quite fast. If you do that on the 5S, it doesn't quite scroll as fast. Frame rates on both, well, they seem really smooth. We'll try and go a little bit faster, see if we can get any lags. Not really. I mean, I don't know when you'd even use Facebook like this, but yeah, really there is no lags between them. Very, very smooth in both. Here we go with Google Plus scrolling. Again, so far very smooth. No major frame drops in either one. They seem to both bring out... Whoops, we've got a low message here. They seem to both bring out the information at the same time. There isn't one loading pictures faster than the other. I'll try and get them identical, but it's kind of hard to do. Where is the Android Central post? Here we go. Can see both are displaying information very quickly. Speed-wise, can see that there. Speed-wise, slight frame drop on the Nexus 5, but very slight. You can see the iPhone 5S handles it a little bit differently. It kind of does transitions to hide the lag a little bit. But you can see scrolling performance here is excellent in apps on both of these devices. There's nothing really between them. Next up, we're going to see which one can load up the websites quickest. I'm using the stock browser on both, so that's Safari on the 5S and Google Chrome on the Nexus 5. I've turned off the preloading of websites. I've cleared all the caches, so yeah, here we go. Let's press go here at the same time. They're off, both going to the mobile site. Ooh, it's tight. 5S is done. Nexus 5 probably about 2 seconds behind it, but really not much in it, but the 5S did win. They've both gone to the mobile site, so we'll dive to the bottom and check out the full site. 5S, the Nexus 5 looks to load it first. 5S is done. Nexus 5 is done now. So again, probably about 3 or 4 seconds behind that time, but the Nexus 5 seemed to display the content first, but the 5S did finish with it first. Scrolling on both, very, very smooth. Pinch to zoom, yeah, smoother on the 5S. It's still dropping a few frames on the Nexus 5, but it's still running Chrome, probably the best I've seen it run on an Android device. Most of this speed is probably down to the software being used, so Safari probably has a better engine than Chrome or something like that, but let's go ahead and test out something else. Okay, so here we go with GSM Arena. They're off. Again, Nexus 5 looked like it was going to load first. 5S was done. I couldn't even see that. That was too damn tight for me to tell. One of you guys on the comments will have to tell me who won there. We'll scroll down and we'll hit the desktop site on both, and we'll see if we can see a difference. Nexus 5 displaying content first and finished. 5S over here still loading, so that one was definitely the Nexus 5 that won for the full site. I couldn't tell for the mobile site. You guys will have to tell me. We'll try one more because I think right now it's a tie. Okay, and lastly we got Android Community. They're off. Nexus 5 loading, and 5S is done. Nexus 5 again 2 seconds behind it. Again, the Nexus 5 looked like it was going to load first. It displayed the content first, but the 5S did finish first. So there you go. It's 2-1 to the 5S. There really isn't much difference between these two devices in terms of performance all the way through in app opening, scrolling, or websites. They are very closely matched. Okay guys, I wanted to wrap up the video by checking out a few benchmarks here. You can see I've run Geekbench. Geekbench is specifically a CPU benchmark, so that's what it's testing out here. The single core performance of the 5S comes in at 1411 compared to the Nexus 5's 935, so the 5S definitely wins out there. The multi-score performance is the other way around. The Nexus 5 comes in with 2826 compared to the 5S's 2557, so make of that what you will. You've seen the real world performance a little bit earlier in the video. Yeah. And lastly, we got 3D Mark, which is mainly a GPU benchmark. You can see I've run the same test on both Ice Storm Unlimited, so it doesn't take into account VSync, it doesn't take into account screen resolution, so it is a fair test. The overall score, you can see the 5S scores 14,554, the Nexus 5 scores 17,795, so overall a better score on the Nexus 5, but let's go ahead and check out the individual scores. We'll just scroll down here. And we're looking at graphics test 1. The 5S comes in at 107.1 FPS. The Nexus 5 comes in at 92.9 FPS. So the 5S wins that round. Graphics test 2, we've got 66.9 on the 5S. On the Nexus 5, we have 67.7. So the Nexus 5 wins that round. And lastly, we have the physics test, and this is probably the biggest difference. The 5S comes in at 25.5 FPS, the Nexus 5 comes in at 54.1 FPS. So it's obviously taken advantage of those 4 cores there, but overall, the Nexus 5 does win in this benchmark. So there you go, guys. You can see that both of these devices are very fast, and yeah, they're pretty equally matched. The 5S had a little bit of an advantage in the web browser. The Nexus 5 had a little bit of an advantage at opening apps. So you know, take that what you will. I have to check out the gaming performance in another video because that's going to be a little bit more detailed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. Which one would you choose? Yeah, peace out.